operator of the light, the tall man approaching your door, is not a symbol of fear. It is a sign that a life-changing message is moving toward you now. The moment of recognition is closer than you realize, and your discernment is being tested. I am Selan, commander of the Ashtar Light Fleet, bringing you the words of Ashtar Sheran. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to interpret Ashtar downloads and recognize the meaning behind this unexpected arrival. But here's the first revelation. The tall man represents an energy of authority, protection, and decisive change entering your personal path. You did not receive this message by mistake. Something within you has already sensed that a door is about to open, and what arrives through it may redirect your future. Listen carefully, because the confirmation may appear in a form you never expected. Like this transmission to signal to your star family, I'm ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating, and comment 999 if your cosmic remembrance is returning. You are not here by accident, and as you remain with this feeling, notice what is happening inside your body. There may be a pressure in your chest, a warmth in your hands, a sudden stillness around your thoughts. There may be a subtle opening in your breath, as though some unseen window has been lifted inside you. You may feel emotion rising without a clear story attached to it, or a quiet sense that something familiar is moving closer. These sensations are not asking you to chase an image or force an event into existence. They are inviting you to recognize the difference between ordinary expectation and deep inner knowing. Expectation often feels restless. It reaches outward, searches for proof, and becomes disappointed when the world does not immediately respond. Inner knowing is different. It may be soft, but it carries a steadiness beneath the surface. It does not need to shout because it is not trying to convince you. As the scripture says, "Be still and know that I am God." In the stillness, what is real begins to separate itself from what is merely urgent. The reason so many starseeds remain disconnected from their path is not because their light has disappeared. It is because their awareness has been trained to dismiss the signals that once guided them. You were taught to trust only what can be measured, explained, or approved by someone outside you. You were rewarded for being practical, agreeable, and easy to understand, while the deeper movements within you were often treated as imagination, sensitivity, or inconvenience. Over time, you may have learned to silence the very senses that were designed to help you navigate, but your deepest guidance does not always arrive as a voice. Sometimes it arrives as a pattern that repeats. A person who appears at an impossible moment, a door that opens after years of waiting, or a presence you feel before there is any visible proof. Sometimes guidance appears through what refuses to leave you. A question continues returning. A dream keeps visiting the same landscape. A certain form of service keeps calling to you, even after you have tried to bury it beneath responsibilities. These recurring impressions are not always instructions to act immediately, but they may be invitations to pay attention. There are currents moving beneath the surface of life, like an underground river hidden beneath dry ground. You may not see the water, but the land reveals its presence through green places, unexpected springs, and the instinct of those who know where to dig. Your intuition can work in much the same way. It senses movement before the visible world catches up. This is where many awakenings become interrupted. The soul begins sending a clear transmission, but the human mind immediately translates it into fear. What if I am imagining this? What if I am wrong? What if this change requires me to leave everything familiar? What if the person, message, opportunity, or encounter that is approaching asks me to become someone I have been afraid to be? These questions are understandable. The mind has been designed to protect you from uncertainty, and it often mistakes the unknown for danger. But not every unfamiliar threshold is a threat. Some thresholds feel frightening because they lead beyond the identity that has kept you safe, not because they lead somewhere harmful. You may have stood at such thresholds before. You felt the impulse to begin, to speak, to leave, to create, or to forgive. And then a voice inside you presented every possible reason to wait. The voice may have sounded intelligent. It may have used logic, timing, financial concerns, other people's opinions, or old memories as evidence. Yet beneath the explanations was sometimes a simple truth. You were afraid of the life that would become possible if you stopped choosing the smaller one. Fear can build an impressive courtroom complete with arguments and witnesses. But it is not always the judge. There is another wisdom within you that can hear the fear without allowing it to govern the verdict. That hesitation creates a veil between your current identity and your deeper assignment. The veil is not punishment. It is a protective layer formed by years of adaptation. You learned how to survive by becoming understandable to the world around you. You learned how to make your perceptions smaller, your sensitivity quieter, and your questions more acceptable. You may have discovered which parts of your personality received approval and which parts created discomfort. Perhaps you became the one who needed little, felt little, asked little, and expected little. Perhaps you became highly capable so no one would notice how deeply you needed support. Yet the part of you connected to the greater field never agreed to disappear. It simply waited beneath the noise. It waited in the moments when you looked at the stars and felt an ache you could not name. It waited in the sudden tears that came when you heard a particular song, read a particular verse, or encountered a kindness that reached the place in you that had been forgotten. It waited in your refusal to accept that life is only a cycle of labor, consumption, fear, and repetition. The light within you did not vanish because others could not recognize it. A lamp covered by cloth is still burning. The covering may hide the flame from the room, but it cannot change the nature of the fire. The presence approaching your life is not only about an external individual. The tall man is also a symbol of an energy that carries height, perspective, direction, and grounded authority. He represents something that can stand above the confusion without being separated from the earth. He is not merely an image of power, but of mature power. The kind that does not need to dominate because it is rooted in inner order. Whether this encounter manifests through a person, a conversation, a document, an opportunity, or an unexpected delivery, the deeper movement is the same. Information is coming to you that your former identity could not have received. Perhaps it is a truth that would have overwhelmed you before. Perhaps it is an opportunity that requires you to see yourself as capable rather than overlooked. Perhaps it is a connection that reflects your growth so clearly that you can no longer pretend to be satisfied with relationships built on confusion. The form may surprise you, but the purpose will be recognition. Something arrives from outside so that something already alive within you can become visible. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, the Ashtar Codex Fleet Operations Edition and the Operator Recognition Test are being released completely free of charge for a limited time only. No payment, no catch. But this free access window will close soon. The link is in somewhere down below in the comments. Now allow the next layer to settle within you. The first initiation is to recognize the distortion. Your signal has been scrambled by environments that required you to doubt yourself. Every time you felt something before it happened and were told you were being dramatic, a layer of doubt was added. Every time your intuition led you toward a new direction and fear convinced you to remain still, the connection became quieter. Every time you accepted another person's definition of your worth, your own inner coordinates became harder to read. Distortion does not always appear as obvious negativity. Sometimes it looks like overthinking disguised as responsibility. Sometimes it looks like endless preparation that never becomes movement. Sometimes it looks like asking everyone else what they think, because your own answer feels too dangerous to honor. You may have become so accustomed to second-guessing yourself that uncertainty now feels more familiar than clarity. But what is familiar is not necessarily what is true. A compass may seem unreliable when you are standing beside a large magnetic field. Move away from the interference and the needle begins to settle. But scrambled does not mean erased. Your original frequency is still present. The deepest part of you has not been rewritten by disappointment. It has not been destroyed by rejection, betrayal, or years spent in survival mode. There is a core beneath the accumulated noise that remembers how to return to center. In the language of Scripture, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. That does not mean you will never become confused. It means confusion is not your final nature. Begin noticing what drains your clarity and what restores it. Notice which conversations leave you contracted and which ones return you to a calm, alert presence. Notice the difference between anxiety that rushes you into action and intuition that gives you a quiet certainty. Anxiety often speaks in absolutes, demands immediate answers, and makes every decision feel like a crisis. Intuition may ask you to move, but it does not need to terrorize you into obedience. It leaves room for observation, prayer, reflection, and practical wisdom. Your starseed awareness does not need chaos to prove that it is real. It becomes clearer as you become more regulated, more honest, and more willing to listen without demanding immediate evidence. Give yourself quiet mornings. Walk without constantly filling your ears with noise. Write down what you sense before asking others to interpret it. Spend time with people who do not punish you for having an inner life. Clarity is not always a dramatic lightning strike. More often, it is the gradual clearing of a window that has been covered with dust. The second initiation is the awakening of the blueprint. There is a pattern within you that was not designed by your circumstances. Your family history may explain some of your fears, but it does not explain every longing you carry. Your environment may have shaped your habits, but it does not account for the ancient familiarity you feel when you look at the night sky, encounter certain symbols, or hear words that seem to unlock a memory older than your current story. The blueprint is not a rigid script that removes your freedom. It is more like the design of a cathedral hidden within a stone block. Your life experiences are the tools that carve away what cannot remain. Some seasons remove illusions. Some relationships expose the places where you have abandoned yourself. Some losses clear the ground for a structure that could not have been built in the old arrangement. What appears to be destruction may sometimes be excavation. The sacred design is not being imposed upon you from the outside. It is being revealed through your willingness to become truthful. This blueprint lives through resonance. It may awaken when you meet someone whose presence feels strangely familiar. It may surface when you enter a place and know, without explanation, that you have crossed a meaningful threshold. It may rise through dreams, sudden creative impulses, or an unshakable desire to serve in a way that brings more coherence into the lives of others. You may feel drawn to healing, teaching, protection, art, research, stewardship, or simply becoming a stabilizing presence in a world that often rewards reaction. Resonance should not be confused with immediate attachment. Something can feel familiar because it resembles an old wound, not because it belongs to your future. This is why awareness must be paired with discernment. Let the feeling inform you, but let time reveal the truth. A genuine blueprint does not need to be forced. It continues unfolding through consistency. It becomes clearer when your life, body, values, and actions begin moving in the same direction. Do not pressure yourself to recover every detail. Memory does not always return as a complete scene. Often, it returns as a direction. You suddenly know what you cannot continue doing. You know which alliance is no longer aligned. You know what skill must be developed, what truth must be spoken, or what fear must no longer govern your choices. That is the blueprint becoming active. It is not giving you a performance to imitate. It is restoring the inner architecture from which your authentic decisions can emerge. The third initiation is the recalibration of your energy body. When a major shift approaches, your system may become unusually sensitive. You might sleep differently, feel detached from old interests, experience emotional waves that do not seem connected to a current event, or sense that time is moving in an unfamiliar way. You may notice that crowded places exhaust you more than before, or that your body asks for silence after prolonged exposure to conflict. These changes do not automatically mean that something supernatural is occurring. They may also reflect stress, transition, grief, hormonal changes, or the need for rest. Spiritual awareness becomes reliable when it includes the body rather than ignoring it. The body is not an obstacle to consciousness. It is the vessel through which consciousness learns to express itself here. A message that cannot be integrated into daily life remains only an idea. Let your body participate in the awakening. Notice your breathing. Notice the tension in your jaw, shoulders, belly, and hands. Ask whether you are responding to the present moment or reliving an old danger. Your body may be carrying history, but with patience, it can also learn a new future. Drink water. Rest when you are tired. Step away from people who keep you in confusion. Let your nervous system learn that awakening does not require panic. The higher frequencies you are asking to embody cannot stabilize in a body that is constantly being pushed beyond its limits. Grounding is not a departure from your galactic path. Grounding is how the path becomes useful here. Eat nourishing food, feel your feet on the floor, tend to your responsibilities, and allow ordinary acts of care to become sacred rituals. Even Moses had to remove his sandals and stand upon the ground. The holy does not only appear in distant realms, it meets you through the earth beneath your feet. The fourth initiation is learning to receive without surrendering discernment. When something powerful approaches, the unhealed part of the mind may want to believe everything immediately. It may turn a symbol into a command or give a stranger authority simply because the encounter feels meaningful. But true alignment does not demand that you abandon your judgment. It does not ask you to give away your money, your safety, your autonomy, or your responsibility. A message can be spiritually meaningful and still require practical verification. A person can carry an important lesson without being assigned permanent access to your life. An opportunity can be exciting and still deserve questions. The light does not fear examination. What is true can withstand patience, transparency, and wise counsel. As the scripture teaches, test everything, hold fast what is good. This is not a command to become cynical. It is an invitation to become clear. If the tall man appears in your life, meet the moment with openness and clear boundaries. Listen to what is said, but also observe how you feel afterward. Do you feel expanded, calm, and more capable of making your own choices? Or do you feel pressured, diminished, and afraid to question what you are being told? A genuine activation increases your sovereignty. It does not replace it. It will not punish you for taking time. It will not demand secrecy that isolates you from everyone who cares about your well-being. The right connection can honor both mystery and common sense. The fifth initiation is the release of the old timeline. This may be the most painful stage because it asks you to stop negotiating with identities that have already completed their purpose. You may have spent years being the dependable one, the invisible one, the one who waits, the one who rescues, or the one who remains available while your own life stays suspended. These roles once helped you belong. They may now be preventing you from arriving. There is grief in releasing an identity, even one that exhausted you. You may miss the approval it brought. You may fear that people will no longer know how to relate to you. You may wonder who you are if you are not solving everyone's problems, absorbing everyone's moods, or remaining loyal to every old promise. But a role is not the whole soul. You are more than the function you performed for others. The seed does not betray the soil when it breaks open. It fulfills what the soil was preparing it to become. The approaching change may reveal how much energy you have been giving to situations that cannot return it. You may discover that certain delays were not failures, but forms of redirection. You may realize that you were not being rejected from your path. You were being removed from a version of it that was too small for what you are becoming. This understanding may not arrive with applause. Sometimes the first evidence of a new timeline is simply the loss of desire to keep repeating the old one. Let the old timeline end without making it an enemy. You do not need to hate your past to outgrow it. You do not need to prove that you have changed by attacking everything you once accepted. Simply stop feeding what no longer carries life. A timeline dissolves when your attention, choices, and emotional investment stop sustaining it. Bless the lessons. Thank the former self who carried you this far. Then release the obligation to keep living as though the old conditions are still in control. The sixth initiation is the arrival of external confirmation. This is where the inner work begins to reflect through the physical world. A message may come through, a person may appear, a decision that felt impossible may become simple. Something connected to your purpose may be placed directly in your path. This does not mean every unexpected event is a cosmic instruction. It means that when your inner field becomes coherent, you recognize relevant opportunities with greater clarity. The world may begin to mirror what has already shifted within you. You may notice that conversations become more honest, that helpful information reaches you at the right time, or that resources begin gathering around a project you once believed was too far beyond your reach. This is not an invitation to become passive and wait for the universe to perform every step. It is a reminder that inner alignment changes what you are able to perceive, choose, and respond to. The door may have been there before, but you were not yet facing it. You will know the difference because you will not need to force the meaning. The aligned opening will not require you to abandon common sense. It will meet you with a quiet sense of rightness. Even if it also asks you to be brave, you may feel nervous, but underneath the nervousness there will be a stable center. That center is your recognition. It is the peaceful place from which you can say yes without self-betrayal or no without guilt. And the seventh initiation is action. Recognition without movement becomes another form of postponement. You can receive the sign, understand the message, and still remain at the threshold because you are waiting to feel completely fearless. But courage is not the absence of uncertainty. Courage is the decision to move while remaining connected to your discernment. The Israelites did not see the entire path across the sea before taking the first step. Often, the next portion of the way becomes visible only after you move with trust and wisdom. Take one grounded step. Make the call. Open the document. Prepare the space. Speak the truth. Set the boundary. Accept the invitation only if it is clean, safe, and aligned. Release the habit of waiting for a perfect signal when life has already given you enough information to begin. Your mission does not need to unfold all at once. It needs to become real through one conscious choice after another. A mountain is climbed through individual steps, not through one dramatic leap. Every honest action teaches your energy that you are no longer abandoning yourself at the moment of initiation. Here is the deeper revelation. The person or presence approaching your door is not arriving to rescue you from your life. The encounter is arriving to reveal the life you have been postponing. What he brings may be information, but the real gift is recognition, something in you will recognize that you have crossed beyond the phase where you merely survive your sensitivity. You are entering the phase where your sensitivity becomes intelligence. You are learning how to feel without becoming overwhelmed, how to perceive without becoming suspicious of everything, and how to remain open without becoming unprotected. This is maturity in the spiritual field. The gift is not simply seeing more. The gift is knowing what to do with what you see. You become a bridge between subtle awareness and practical action, between the unseen impression and the visible choice. For a long time, you may have believed that being different was the wound. You may have tried to hide your perceptions, your dreams, your unusual timing, and your refusal to accept empty answers. Yet these qualities were never meant to make you superior or separate. They were meant to help you perceive what remains invisible to those who are not listening. Your task is not to convince everyone. Your task is to become so internally aligned that you no longer betray your own knowing simply to preserve an old form of belonging. There is humility in this path. You are not being asked to declare yourself more important than anyone else. You are being asked to honor the particular way you have been shaped to contribute. A star does not compete with the moon for permission to shine. A river does not apologize for following its course. Your uniqueness becomes useful when it is placed in service of love, truth, healing, and the restoration of what has been fractured. The higher aspect of your consciousness is not watching from some distant realm, waiting for you to become worthy. It is already moving through your choices. It is present in the moment you pause before repeating an old pattern. It is present when you choose honesty over performance, peace over familiar chaos, and responsibility over fantasy. Galactic awareness is not an escape from ordinary life. It is the ability to bring extraordinary clarity into ordinary decisions. It is how you answer an email with integrity, how you care for your home, how you speak to someone who cannot offer you status, and how you respond when no one is watching. It is how you refuse to make spiritual language an excuse for avoiding accountability. It is how you hold a vision for humanity while still honoring the person standing in front of you. The higher consciousness does not make you less human. It teaches you to inhabit your humanity with greater compassion and greater responsibility. The door in this message is also within you. It is the threshold between waiting for permission and responding to what you already know. It is the threshold between interpreting every event through fear and allowing meaning to unfold without losing your center. It is the threshold between asking whether you have a mission and beginning to live as someone whose presence matters. Every time you choose the truth, the door opens a little wider. Every time you stop explaining yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you, the hinges become lighter. Every time you honor your body, protect your peace, and take one step toward meaningful service, you walk through a place that once seemed inaccessible. You may not feel transformed in a single moment, but transformation is taking place through the accumulation of these small acts of alignment. You do not need to chase the tall man. You do not need to search every street, interpret every stranger, or turn your life into a test of prediction. Stay awake, but remain grounded. Be receptive, but remain discerning. Let the right encounter identify itself through consistency, respect, in the way it strengthens your relationship with your own truth. What is meant for you will not require you to become frantic. It will not make you betray your values in order to keep it. It will allow recognition to deepen through time. If this message has reached you at a meaningful moment, place one hand over your heart and take a slow breath. Say quietly, "I am available for clarity. I welcome what is aligned. I release what confuses, controls, or diminishes me. I remember my direction and I move with discernment." Let those words become more than an affirmation. Let them become a standard for what you permit into your field. Feel the difference between saying them from longing and saying them from readiness. Your heart is not merely asking for an arrival, it is preparing to meet that arrival without abandoning its wisdom. You are not waiting for someone else to change your life. You are meeting the part of yourself that is ready to change it. The arrival is significant because you are now able to receive what would once have overwhelmed you. The message is significant because you are finally willing to act on what you have always sensed. And the door is significant because you are no longer the same person who stood behind it. The one who waited has learned. The one who doubted has gathered evidence through lived experience. The one who felt lost has been quietly becoming a compass for others. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real, then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space, and we're just getting started.